Dr. Mike has published countless videos on nutrition and even has his own dieting app. But if your diet is so bad that you need surgery and drugs to compensate for it, then something is clearly wrong. That was Dr. Mike's situation a year ago, so today we're going to react to his latest diet to see if he's improved things or if he's just rebranding the same mistakes.
I'm going to show you guys how to do a few things. One is organize your day for eating and how I do it. Two is using the Art of Diet Coach to help you. And three is how to live in an apartment in which everything is white.
So the purpose of this video isn't to just shit on Dr. Mike. I think he already said that this is how he approaches dieting, and also maybe we can get some tips from it. So I just want you to watch this video and think, is this the kind of diet that you want to have? And will this help you reach your goals as a natural lifter?
Am I in an insane asylum? Let's find out. I start pretty much every morning out with supplements.
So supplements in the fitness industry are so overused. I think if you can just try and get your nutrients from whole foods, that would be way better. The reason for that is because of nutrient matrices, and I talked about it in my last video. So if that's something that you want to know more about, then you can just watch that.
Creatine, NMN, and CBD gummies to manage the side effects on the brain from taking special sport supplements will not be shown in this video.
I think you can criticize Dr. Mike for a lot of things, but I actually really respect how honest he is about the drawbacks of taking steroids. He's definitely not a role model for doing that sort of thing.
For illegal reasons.
But to be honest, he has made some videos recently that are a bit questionable, so you can have a different opinion on that.
I have one of these. I make 3 of these at a time, so I get 21 days of supplements.
Fish oils aren't even the best way that you can get omega-3. There are actually these eggs that you can get called super eggs, where they specifically feed hens this feed that has high omega-3, and then the chickens concentrate it into the eggs. The reason why you don't want to be having a ton of fish oil capsules is because a lot of them are actually rancid. Omega-3 is quite unstable at room temperature, so if you leave it in a box like this, by the time you eventually take it, it's going to be rancid, it's going to cause inflammation. So at the very least, like, if you do want to take most of your omega-3 through a capsule, I recommend that you go for red krill oil because it's a little bit more stable, and ideally store that, like, in the fridge, like, around the back.
I got all kinds of stuff in here, but fish oils and stuff, blood.
Oh shit, I see that he's got, like, a bit of K2 here. That's honestly better than me, because I only just realized that K2 is essential for even making the most of your calcium and, vitamin D. Up to then, I was just taking vitamin D, and, there are studies to show that if you have too much vitamin D and too much calcium and not enough K2, it can actually cause the calcium to deposit into your arteries and not into your bones where it should be. So, I mean, good on Dr. Mike for getting that.
Pressure medications, metformin, things like that, enhanced folks use. Pressure medications, metformin, things like that, enhanced folks use to stay alive slightly longer to make better gains.
I think from what I saw, Dr. Mike is like in his 40s, and bro's like already on metformin and blood pressure medication. Like, that's so unhealthy. Yeah, I mean, another reason not to do steroids.
All I do is I take all these supplements in the morning, and then I go and do bathroom things. After that, I will be making my workout shake because I don't actually eat anything in the morning first thing. I make my workout shake after I take my supplements, and then I drive over to the gym to go train.
That's
crazy. Workout shake I will consume during the gym, a little bit after, and then my first actual human food meal is going to be after the gym. So, yep, I train sort of fasted, even though I do start sipping my shake.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing fasted training. Like, if you're actually in a caloric deficit especially, you're not going to benefit from fasted training. You're going to be so weak, you're going to be so drained, the pump is going to be shit. And if you're taking this many supplements as well, again, to go back to the nutrient matrix thing, your body has been designed, we've evolved to intake nutrients together with other things. So a lot of these supplements that he's taking are fat soluble. How are you going to absorb those nutrients and make the most of them if you don't have any fat in your meal? And I guarantee if he's having a workout shake, there's not going to be any fat in there unless he has it with milk.
Right when the workout
which makes no sense
Next
for a
up,
carb.
we will make a workout shake together, and I will take it and go train. This is isn't always the protein I use.
The roses
Sometimes
are probably as unhappy as Dr. Mike's organs right
I
now.
use it pretty good.
Wow.
I'd recommend, in most cases, using a fruit-based protein or a vanilla protein if you're going to make a shake out of it, something that doesn't have a lot of oomph to it. But I am a savage, so today I'll be using this whey protein.
So I used to be like this as well. I used to get most of my protein from protein shakes, and over the past month I've tried to have as little of that as possible. If I'm having a stressful day, I'll take one to like work with me, but you want to try and limit that for two reasons. One, I feel like I just get a headache. Like if you have that much protein without anything else, I just get like a random headache, and there's actually some science behind why that would happen. I'll explain it a bit later. But the second reason is they actually found that there's like a ton of lead in protein shakes, and I just think you don't want to accumulate more of that than you really have to, so I'd focus on just getting it again from whole foods.
Gatorade, got my element salt for hydration. I make it
Gatorade plus like a milky protein flavor is crazy.
all in this one giant container and really fill it up pretty damn close to the brim. So this is multiple liters of water. 45 grams of protein, 30 grams of carbs from the Gatorade, pretty close to zero fats, and a whole element pack.
There's about 4 calories per gram of carb in terms of if we're working this out. So that's about 120 calories. I want to ask you, like, as a natural lifter who's, I think he's at 6% body fat now, could you train and actually go to failure, do your best to train really hard on 120 calories? Is that something that you can actually do? I don't think so.
What that does for me is it gives
It's going
me
to be such a shit workout.
mutes muscle wasting, mutes catabolism because of the protein and carb presence during the workout. As you guys know, workouts are a little bit catabolic during the time that they happen.
That is
The
true.
anabolism or muscle growth scoots up afterwards. This shake gives me energy because of the carbohydrates. It primes anabolism with the decent amount of protein that I have put into my gut during the time that I drink it. It also provides me with fantastic hydration. I, in fact, put so much fluid into the shake and have such a good, well-calculated dose of electrolytes that I usually finish about half or 2/3 during the workout.
I mean, something else that has electrolytes is actual food, so you could just do that and then have like a bit more carbs for breakfast. I typically don't have carbs for most of my meals, but I will have carbs for breakfast just because you want to actually have energy for your workout. But we'll see.
Take the last swig on my ride home, come back, and then have my first actual post-workout meal. So this is a really good shake combo I like to use, and I think it works decently well. I've done a ton of stuff over the years with shakes, a little too concentrated, a little too watery, XYZ ingredients missing, XYZ too many ingredients. I've been on this for a while, and I really, really like it. Of course, with the RP Diet Coach app.
He just
a
keeps
swipe
like
away.
plugging his app. I've used his app and it's not bad, but I feel like, again, it just so heavily emphasizes the calories in, calories out lie that just doesn't really apply for natural lifters. Like, if you're a bodybuilder, a professional bodybuilder, then maybe you want to count everything to the gram. But for the average person who doesn't have that much time, you don't want to spend ages like overthinking your food. Genuinely, just go keto for all of your meals, have carbs before a workout, or you can like add a little bit in if you're still like adapting and you feel a bit tired. But if you genuinely shift to keto for every meal, like lunch, dinner, you will feel so much better. I genuinely can go the entire day without feeling hungry anymore. And I only really eat because, you know, at a certain point your stomach starts rumbling and you think, you know, maybe you should eat now. But go keto, just try it. It will really reduce your like hunger signaling, and you'll actually not even have to track calories and still lose weight, which is huge. It's cool how he has the whole gym to himself. And he seems to be training pretty hard for like basically no energy, so it's kind of cool. It just seems
All
so
right,
depressing though.
Time to make the post-workout meal.
Alright. Damn.
I am maintaining / slow gaining after getting down to about 6% body fat in this diet. And so I'm eating more or less almost the same thing I did on
This is crazy. I mean, he's absolutely just overdosing on the carbs post-workout. It makes no sense. If you're going to have bread and rice, 2 different types of carb, why not have that before you train?
diet, except buffered in with extra carbs. MegaFit meal, I have chicken breast.
And why would you increase your calories with carbs. Like, you're fucking up your blood glucose. Like, that's crazy.
Veggies and rice, cup of water. I'll usually refill that a bunch or have it out of a bigger shaker. And then precisely 5 slices of dark rye bread, bringing the over.
Rye bread is okay. I mean, I've heard people say certain things like if you have rye grains, they have higher concentrations of lead in them and these sorts of things. I think for me, as someone who's trying to limit their amount of blood glucose spikes during the day, I have rye bread for breakfast with eggs, and it's generally quite low GI, so it doesn't spike your glycemic index as much. So I think it's worth trying it. It has a bit of a weird texture, but I think rye bread's okay. 5 slices is insanely excessive, but you know, you can try a bit.
Overall macros on this meal to 70 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and 150 grams of carbohydrate.
You just don't need you don't need 600 calories of carbs post-workout. That would have really helped pre-workout. Damn.
Big post-workout meal for them big gains.
I also think it's crazy, but like, if you have the most basic level of cooking skill, if you just try, maybe for like a month to just cook things for yourself, it's going to be rough. You will be able to eat better than a millionaire. Dr. Mike is insanely rich, and yet he chooses to eat just slop. It's not even about like being rich. Like, you could just spend a little bit of time. You could meal prep effectively, and I'm going to make a video on that because I think a lot of people meal prep in a way where the rice and like all the stuff that you've put in there just becomes shit over several days. So I'm going to make a video on how to meal prep. But if you just learn how to cook and you understand how flavors work together, it's a life skill, and you can eat amazing food every single day.
And it tastes like anything, better than anything I would make.
Like,
so,
bro, you're like 40, just learn how to cook. Genuinely, you need to.
MegaFit, no affiliation with RP, but check them out. I've been using them for months. They are amazing.
It's like, if you're into fitness and you're willing to invest in your body and become healthy, how can you not focus on nutrition? We do it 3 times a day. You probably only go to the gym once. And yet people will just not invest any time into this essential skill. It's crazy.
So I'll do 3-4 hours of work, and I'll have a meal at the end of that stretch, and then probably go back to work. So let's get in there and do some work, and then see you guys for the next meal.
The ChatGPT screen. It's crazy. Yeah, you want to, ideally after having a meal, if you're going to have carbs post-workout, which I don't really recommend, but if you're going to do it, you should ideally work standing up if possible, or you should just go on a short walk immediately after eating. It's been proven to reduce blood glucose by up to 40%. It's just way healthier. Everyone knows that sitting is the new smoking nowadays. So what you don't want to do is eat all of those carbs, have the sugar just floating around in your blood, and then just sit there and let them float around and like damage your blood vessels, like glycate things. Just do a bit of activity if you're going to eat carbs.
All right, so for this meal, I am having a nice solid swig of decaf coffee because it's too late to be taking caffeine anyway, and I also typically just don't take in caffeine, but decaf coffee tastes amazing and actually has health benefits.
So the health benefits of coffee are lost in most instant coffees. You're over roasting the shit out of it. All of those aromatic compounds are completely gone by the time you actually use it. The health benefits of coffee, you're talking about tiny incremental changes when there are huge things that you could change about his diet that would yield much larger benefits, but whatever, I guess.
I'm having decaf coffee with le chocolat, as the French say, which for me means pure
That's
protein.
crazy.
Chocolate flavored protein
I
bar.
can't. Okay, let me know in the comments if you actually like protein bars, but in my entire life, I have never finished an entire protein bar. They're so sickening, bro. I've never had a protein bar that's actually good enough to finish it, and each one of these are 180 calories. Bro's trying to cut, like he's trying to lose weight, but you're having 4 protein bars in a single meal.
Precisely 4 of them for 80 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat, 60 grams of carbs, but I'm adding bread to that equation because I'm currently bulking a little bit. I make my coffee, I know decaf's not coffee, by taking the hot water setting out of the faucet and just zapping in water. I get so much crap for this practice. Fresh. For all the coffee people, I just don't understand why. It's hot water. Sure, it's not actually hot, and it's really kind of lukewarm, and I have low expectations for myself and everything around me. But
so It's moments like these in Dr. Mike's videos that actually make me think that his videos are 50% rage bait, 50% bad nutrition and like training advice. Because he's so self-aware. Like, he'll talk about how shit his life is, but he's rich. Like, he could do anything. He could have a private chef. He could actually like learn how to cook with his like extra free time. He'll literally say, yeah, my life is depressing, but I'm not going to do anything to change it. Also, I don't drink coffee. Let me know if instant coffee from like lukewarm water is actually good or not. It probably isn't.
Why does that matter? Coffee's coffee. Am I right, people? It's going to make an amazing.
Might be true. I don't know.
The only reason, by the way, guys, nutritionally I do this is liquids and it tastes great. That's it. There's no magic. Splenda. Pure protein. Love them. These bars are amazing.
When you eat a protein bar, just look at how little volume it takes up. Imagine if you had like a juicy steak or a chicken breast or like a chicken thigh if you like darker meat. That would take up so much room. It would be so satiating. You only need like a couple or maybe like 3 and you've got more protein than this, more micronutrients. Have it with a bit of rice instead of this bread and you've got a solid meal. I mean, obviously like ideally you wouldn't have the carbs, but even so, it's got to be better than having this like highly processed, just disgusting, oh, nah, bro.
And that's going to be my snack. So I'm going to chow this down super fast. And
see, this is the end result. This is the end result of just like having this calories in, calories out mentality. Because on paper, what's the difference between just having a protein bar versus like a chicken breast? Like, there's no difference. It's just, 20 grams of protein. In reality, there's a huge difference, like in terms of how your body responds, as well as like your mental health. We're supposed to eat real food.
Cardio time. I typically do lots of steps during my workout. Between sets, I walk around the gym and do steps. I do steps going shopping, into and out of the car, the whole thing. And so I typically have about 4,000 steps a day out of my 10,000
That's pretty good
step goal that I need to crank out one way or the other. A lot of times I walk around actually in the hallways of my apartment building.
I mean, steps are quite a crude mechanism for getting cardio. It's better than nothing, obviously. But ideally, you'd want to do a bit of zone 2 cardio, slightly higher intensity, but steps are good as well. Yeah, I mean, this seems like it's a little bit too low intensity to really be efficacious, but seeing as Dr. Mike likes just walking at a slower pace, he could just use some of his money to get a walking desk, like one of those treadmills that slide under your desk. He could do that immediately after having his carbs while he's doing a bit of work because it's quite low intensity. And not only would it blunt the insulin spike that he gets from eating so many carbs, but it would also be way more convenient. He'd be able to do it for a little bit longer, and it would be at, a slightly higher intensity if he puts an incline on it. So I don't know.
It is getting to be close to about 7 p.m., which means it is time for me to eat my second to last meal of the day. This meal is going to be another MegaFit meal, this time with some ground.
This actually looks like a really solid meal. I know that a lot of people are quite anti like veg for some reason. Some people say that they contain anti-nutrients. I just think, bro, veg actually tastes nice when you cook it well, and a lot of these anti-nutrients are neutralized when you cook them. So yeah, if you're eating a salad, you might be a bit cooked. But if you have like cooked veg, it's decent. Obviously this is, a ready meal, so it's not ideal. I don't see why you couldn't just have a bit of like frozen ground beef like in the freezer. You just like take it out, defrost it, just whip it up really quickly with some broccoli. You could make this meal, is what I'm saying, if you learn a little bit of
some
cooking.
Veggies in my extra special edition of fat-free cheese. That's right, it makes everything better.
Fat-free cheese is so interesting to me. I think when you look at like cheese as an overall thing, it's actually quite good for you to have a bit of saturated fat. It's good to support your testosterone production. It's good for hormonal production. So to remove that fat, you've always got to ask the question, like, how do they keep it like cheese if they're removing the fat, the thing that lets it melt and just sit on your mouth really well? They're probably adding a ton of emulsifiers, carbs, these other things that just make the cheese worse and are also worse for your metabolic health. So if you're going to put cheese on it in the first place, just go with whole cheese. Like, why not?
Add in some whole grain bread, and we get a meal
More
that
bread,
is
bro.
fitting the macros flawlessly.
He is addicted to this rye bread. Like, I enjoy rye bread, but it's not that good to have it with every single meal. Jeez.
75 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat, and about 100 grams of carbohydrate for this meal. is definitely going to be my last higher calorie meal of the day, as the last meal is really just a high protein, low carb, low fat
You
snack.
should have had that like
All right,
post
Make
workout.
this meal, sit down, eat it, and think about where I screwed up in my life to be like this, hopeless and alone and eating containerized meals. No,
See, he's too self-aware, bro. This is rage bait.
no, wait. I love this lifestyle. Right? Last meal of the day for me begins when my chill time begins. Usually I take about an hour in the evening on most days to watch, honestly, my favorite reruns of Justice League and Batman on Amazon Prime. And my favorite YouTube stuff, which usually includes military technology and AI strategy and other things that people don't want to watch with me, and so I have no friends.
It's crazy cortisol spike. I've also seen that a lot of people do watch YouTube on TV. I personally don't do that. I prefer watching Netflix, but that's kind of interesting, I guess.
But I do have a new friend who doesn't know that I'm friends with them. It is the Twin Peaks Ingredients company that makes this unbelievable product, protein powder.
They look radioactive, bro. What the fuck? They look radioactive, and a couple years ago when I was still new to like lifting, I tried a ton of these like high protein like carb replacement snacks, and they always taste awful. Like they're so stale, they just don't have the proper mouthfeel. And I feel like if you're eating so much of it that it's basically a meal, this is meant to be a snack, but if you're eating so much of it that it's a meal, then why not just have like a proper meal? Like why not just have more food if you're still hungry? These are going to liquefy in your stomach. They're not going to be satiating at all. And I guarantee he's going to have like the entire container.
They taste good, but wait. Every serving, which is plenty of puffs, gives you 4 grams of fat. Okay. 2 grams of carbs. Whoa, not bad. 21 grams of protein. We have at RP or through my own private channels, zero. Absolutely.
It's
zero.
not all about protein, bro. It's not all about like calories in, calories out. Please. Like this is so depressing.
And take zero money from Twin Peaks. You guys, that's most of the food I eat. It's just shit I buy because it's fucking great. I need 3 servings.
I swear there was like a recent study saying that you don't even need as much protein as people have been saying this entire time.
65 grams of protein. So I take these protein puffs and you'll never guess how I eat them. Come over to the couch where I will watch television and explain to you exactly how strange my life really is. So here's how messed up I am. I have a spoon in here and I eat these like a cereal, except there's no milk in there because they're cheesy puffs. So that might not be that bad.
I actually respect that. Like I hate getting my hands dirty when I eat things. Even if I'm eating crisps, like I'll just use, you know, a pair of chopsticks to like take them out sometimes if I don't want to get my hands dirty. Because I just have this like mental aversion. That was back when I used to actually eat crisps, but you know. The chemicals that must be in this.
How are they so
Insane.
cheesy? I'm not smart enough or educated enough to figure that out. But what I do know
Just please don't get us out, bro.
is I can
It's
track
not that
all
good.
of this with the RP Diet Coach app. 5 total meals in my RP Diet Coach app, all logged in for a sum total today.
Okay, I want you guys to guess. How many calories do you think he's eaten? Based on everything that you've seen, guess how many?
And on most days at his current phase, 3,685 total calories.
That's crazy. He didn't even eat that much. The calorie to volume ratio on his meals is so bad, especially considering he doesn't even have any fat. Oh, it's just awful.
335 grams of protein, 65 grams of fat.
65 grams of fat is not enough. I think you need like 100 or something to even survive, like long term, but I don't know.
And 440 grams of carbohydrates.
That is apocalyptically bad, bro. I think, again, there was a study that said that you don't need as much protein as what most bodybuilders think. And I think, don't worry about it. Like, try and have protein, of course. Try and, like, vaguely track how much you're having if you're serious about making progress in the gym. But I think specifically for Dr. Mike's case, we know, because at the beginning he was talking about taking metformin, and he takes, like, antihypertensives. So for the average person, having this much protein is fine, because a lot of people say, like, protein damages your kidneys. That's not true. In healthy kidneys, but that's the thing. If Dr. Mike has pre-diabetes and he's also taking an antihypertensive, hypertension and diabetes absolutely destroy your kidneys over time. So if he's having this much protein on top of that, bro, his kidneys are going to absolutely tap out like in the next few years. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. So if I were him, I'd maybe consider lowering that a little bit, or at least trying to reduce the stress on his kidneys in some other ways. This could also stand to be decreased. And if you're natural, this is absolutely going to destroy you if you have this diet. Just don't try it.
65 grams of fat is at the low end, but remember, I don't need a ton of fats for hormonal production because my hormonal production probably occurs in a laboratory somewhere where they make exogenous testosterone for injection.
Fats do more than just make testosterone. You have other hormones that need fat. You have your cells that are made of fat. You have the things that coat your nerves, which are made of fat. It's not just about testosterone. This is so like steroid user coded. It's insane.
And enough fat to satiate me and keep everything running, but not so much. And then 440 grams of carbs is a decent hit to the face of carbohydrates.
That's an insane hit to the face. It's probably why he's on metformin, if we're being for real.
My glycogen levels full and refilled. Keeps my insulin-mediated anti-catabolism and myeloanabolism really good. Gives me tons of...
So, okay, I get what he's talking about here. So, older bodybuilders used to take insulin. A few of them died because they took too much, but they did that to reduce the catabolic signaling to their muscles, because insulin is a growth-mediating hormone. But the problem is, if he's on metformin, that already means that his body is insulin resistant. Like, his body is not responding to the insulin because he's either diabetic or pre-diabetic. So what's actually more important? That you ram as much insulin into your body as possible to reduce the catabolic signaling, or that you train your body to be more insulin sensitive so you don't need as much, but when the insulin does come, your body knows how to respond to it. That's why you should limit the amount of carbs that you have, not only to prevent diabetes, but also because you want your body to actually respond to the insulin rather than just having it floating around and making you less metabolically healthy.
Energy all around. I am loving this diet. Keep track of it all on my RP Diet Coach app.
Dr. Mike has been honest about how he has been throwing the kitchen sink, hormonally speaking, at everything that he does in fitness, whether that's taking exogenous testosterone, whether that's taking GLP-1 agonists. He is not a good model to look at in terms of how he trains, nor how he eats. If you are having this diet and you still need to take things like semaglutide, all of the like Ozempic to reduce your hunger, it's not a good diet. You shouldn't need those drugs. You shouldn't need that help to lose weight if you're serious about nutrition. It makes no sense.
And shit is good, homies. So
shit is not good,
and
bro.
Shower and go to bed. If you
good.
guys want the video of me showering and then going to bed with other men in a production studio in an 8-cam live stream setup, I'll see you on my other site that we also have. Give it a Google, but not at work.
I could not imagine watching anything more catabolic. Damn, bro, that camera was a little bit too low for a second. It's crazy. What did we learn today? Well, we learned that nothing's changed. Dr. Mike's diet is still awful. He's still someone that you shouldn't listen to when it comes to nutrition, and arguably when it comes to training either. We learned that he thinks that the only purpose of fat is to make testosterone, which is completely false. It actually plays a huge role in satiety. And we also learned that he eats bread with every single meal, which is crazy. Like, it's just too much. So if you're a natural lifter, again, I think it's very straightforward. I made a video on how you should actually be eating if you want to lose weight and not feel hungry, and if you want to prioritize your metabolic health and progress in the gym. I recommend that you check that out. Don't listen to what Dr. Mike has to say. I hope you have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and make today count.